Hey guys, welcome back to another PTCGO deck profile with battles from Professor Drizzy. We have Dragonite-GX from the Dragon Majesty set. I wanted to go back and get some footage, see if we could put a viable deck list together for this in standard. I know double dragon energy rotated. We haven't seen dragons really be all that powerful aside from Ultra Necrozma in the standard format. So what we have here is we have two Swablu Altaria line. Altaria has this fight song ability, so his benefit is that he's going to bump up our damage by 20 more for each one of our Altaria that we have out. Now, we have a Tauros-GX. This is sort of a trump card, a stall tactic, wild card, whatever you want to call it here. If you can open up with it, it's pretty key. So we don't have a GX attack. As Dragonite-GX, his attack is Dragon Port, does no damage. Put 3 Dragon Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench. Now that could be used as a potential last resort if needed, but we'd prefer to open up with Tauros-GX. So we also have an Escape Rope, and we also run a copy of Switch to try to help us get him up in the active to soak up some damage in the meantime. Kind of makes our opponent hesitant to swing into him unless it's going to be a one-shot, right? So that can potentially buy us some time. Now, if we open with Latios, that's not going to be very advantageous to us either, or a Lele start. So we do suffer from having very bad starts. We need to be able to pivot out of that situation. But regardless, if say this Tauros goes down, maybe we lose a Swablu, something like that, we do run the rescue stretcher to go be able to get those back. Now, the key thing though, when something does get knocked out, is that we have Lance. So instead of really trying to worry about setting up things, sometimes you can play with the strategy to just let something get knocked out on that first turn, right? So maybe we just bait them with the Tauros and they say, oh, well, I'm not going to swing into it, and they don't want to kill it, they don't want to knock it out, or maybe they do. And if they do, then we can go ahead and we can get 2 Dragon Pokemon and put them onto our bench. That means any 2 Dragon Pokemon. That means we skip having to evolve him, which can be very, very useful. At that point, then we know that Latios is going to be able to do a good amount of damage there. Now, the strategy that we have here is to utilize Max Potion. So we do 70 damage. If we get it 1 Altaria down, we're doing 90. We get a Choice Band, we're going to be doing 120. We get Devoured Field, we're going to be doing 130. We get another Altaria, we're going to do 150. So we may be able to not one shot, but 2 shot some of the stage 2s. But with the Max Potion rinse and repeat at this point, it's really hard for anything to one-shot 250, aside from maybe a Pikarom wasting a lot of Electro Power just to get 1 knockout, right? So it's pretty difficult for them. We do run 4 Mysterious Treasure because Mysterious Treasure is going to be able to allow us to get the Dragonite-GX. We also run 2 copies of Nest Ball for the 2 Swablus. We also can use that for the Latios because Latios does not have to be searched. We can save the Mysterious Treasure. We have 1 Pokénav. This just has helped out when we need to hit an energy, but we don't want to use Volkner and we want to be able to Cynthia. So that helps if we have a Max Potion in hand and say we want to go get an energy, but we don't want to use a Volkner because we do want to get some draw support. Or maybe we've got a Guzma in our hand and we need draw support. So that can help out in that sort of situation. We've got 4 copies of Rare Candy. We already went over the Rescue Stretcher and the Switch. 2 copies of Devoured Field. We want to be able to bump stadiums. We want to bump Thunder Mountain. We want to bump Wondrous Labyrinth. 4 copies of Cynthia. We got 1 copy of Erica's Hospitality because obviously sometimes you've got like the Rare Candy Dragonite in your hand. You got Max Potion Energy. You don't want to get rid of those, but you want to try to find some other pieces like the Altaria, Nest Ball, something along those lines. 3 copies of Guzma. Very important to have these Guzma as we can get stuck in a situation where we are stuck in the active. Maybe we're confused. Maybe we have some other sort of status condition on us, especially when you think of Celisaur. We've got to have the 3 Guzma. We already went over the 1 Lance that we have in here as well. Got 1 copy of Lily as well, just for another draw supporter. You may want to cut this. You may want to switch for possibly Bill's Analysis or Bill's Maintenance. One of the Bill cards would probably give a little bit more resources as well, because you can find a trainer off the top of the deck. So you could find something like a rare candy, you could find something like a mysterious treasure as well, rather than Lily into something that you don't necessarily need. 2 copies of Volkner. This could help you rinse and repeat, getting the max potion and energy per turn. So you have that ability to use those once you are fully set up with the Dragonites. You've got 3 copies of Choice Span. That's always useful as well. Now, Super Boost can be very helpful. It doesn't always work in every matchup, but we are running stage 2s. If we do happen to get one up and then something gets knocked out, maybe they do a Guzma to knock out a Tapu Lele, something along those lines, we are able to get the Super Boost after we lance, and we have 3 Dragonite-GX on the bench, and then we can actually use the Giga Impact. Now, we wouldn't be able to attack next turn, but once again, that's why we do have the switch, and that is why we have the Escape Rope and the Guzma, so that gives 5 outs to being able to switch if needed. Now, we do have 2 copies of Double Colorless. Don't forget that Tapu Lele can be used as an attacker if we need to. The other double colorless here for the Latios, and we have 8 regular lightning energy here. So that's a quick profile of the deck here. That's the main idea of how we're going to do it. We're going to try and rinse and repeat. 250 is a lot for many things to try and hit. So let's get into some of the matches here. All right, let's get into a match here with Dragonite-GX. We're going up against Fire, Grass, and Colorless. We lose the coin flip, that's okay. It's all right, we are stage 2 deck. It's gonna hurt us when we are trying to evolve. Let's see here. We have to take a mulligan on this opening hand. We get a Dratini and we get a rare candy. We just have to remember we can't evolve on our first turn, so it's a little dangerous here. But hopefully we'll be okay. Okay, I know this deck. I know what this deck does. But we do get to go first, so I know why they wanted us to go first, because they want us to switch. They want us to switch with what we have on the bench. But if we don't grab anything, we're better off. Okay, now I don't mind getting another Dratini. Okay, I have the switch in my hand, so that's fine. That's fine at this point. Because I've got 2 rare candy, it doesn't make sense not to try to go for it at this point, so we should be okay. They dropped down Wella Volcano Park, which means that special condition not going to be removed. They're going to make us switch to our bench, and we'll be burned and confused. That's okay, because we're just going to switch right out of it. So here we go with the switch. Here we go with the rare candy. I'd like the Erica, but I don't think we're going to be able to get full value. You know, just getting 2 cards isn't too great here. We could get Volkner for treasure, I think. But then we don't have rare candy, so it's probably just best here that we just go ahead and we get a Cynthia. One of the key things is that we see that Lance is in the deck. That is very important. Oh, so we have Mysterious Treasure. We don't have a rare candy though. That's okay for now. They have to get their Paris and Parasect still up, so should be okay for a couple of turns. I don't believe they play DCE. They might play a DCE though, to be able to do Heat Blast. Interesting that anyone wants to run this deck with their weakness being lightning. Even still, you know, Zapdos is going to one-shot the crap out of this deck. think I just want a Guzma here, no matter what he does. I want a Guzma. I want to knock out a Salandit. I want to knock out the Chimchar, actually. Probably more so the Chimchar than anything. Because he's going to put me on the bench, which is just opening me up to be able to Guzma. We don't want to start taking 6 when we, when that Chimchar kind of gets going. We'll go ahead and max potion. No, we could probably wait on the max potion at least for now. Probably wait on that. We could try to Lele. Here's what we'll do here. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of this since we've got another one in our hand. We have a Tapu Lele. We don't have Tapu Lele, but we can get Dragonair. So we'll slow and steady sort of do this here. He switches us. We don't want that to happen, so we are gonna max potion. Now we can go ahead and do this. Now we'll knock out the Chimchar. So we're not gonna have to deal with Infernape. We get a Tapu Lele off the prizes. That's really, really clutch right there. Rescue Stretcher that Chimchar right back. We do not want to see that Chimchar though. Man. They finally get the Paris down. They're actually playing this version of Salazzle from Ultra Prism that does Panic Poison. It makes us Burn, Confuse, and Poison. We're going to switch, and it's going to switch us here into our Dragonair. Oh, actually switches us into the Tapu Lele. Well played there. The burn does not go away at this point. We do have Volkner. We have a Rescue Stretcher as well. I think it's probably best here that we just go ahead and evolve. I don't think Volkner's going to do anything potent for us. Now, I wonder if it's better to get rid of the Paris or I think it's good to get rid of this Chimchar here. We'll grab this for a Guzma. He's going to try and shut down his strategy as much as possible here. But we are kind of playing from the seat of our pants because we don't have draw support for next turn. We have Volkner though. We do have Volkner. Are going to get another prize here. I'm actually going to go bottom right hand corner here. He's wasted his Rescue Stretcher at this point, so boom. I kind of had a hunch that top left, bottom right would be the best prizes to grab here. So we get a Cynthia. We do have draw supporter for next turn. He is going to make us switch. He does Erica's. He's going to be able to draw 4 cards there. Now they do have the Parasect up. I still don't think that's too threatening. We've only burned 1 max potion at this point. Got 2 Dragonite in play already. We just need to get another Dragonite set up or get our Swablu's and Altarias down in play. Latios Prism would actually be very effective in this matchup. He would be doing 200 damage. He's going to play a switch. He's going to do the burn, confuse, and poison. I'm not too concerned about that, honestly, because that's not that much damage. I can tank for quite some time here. Now, even if he does this for 120, I still feel like I'll be pretty well off here. I have a Rescue Stretcher to grab back the other Dragonite. I think I want to play Erica because then I can still keep my Volkner. The Choice Band is unnecessary at this point. He gets the other Chimchar down. We'll wait for a second here before we do anything else. We really are going to need to Volkner. We're going to need to like double Volkner here. Between turns, right? Okay, right? We'll go ahead and max potion. We can waste it at this point. okay. We're all right at this point. We get 30 damage. We do 120. Well, 120 is not going to be enough to knock us out. Even if he gets Chimchar, or I mean Infernape up, he only gets one head. I don't think he plays Rare Candy, no. So he's got Monferno. He's got Monferno at this point. I think a big credit goes out to this deck being piloted, discovered basically by Dark Integral Gaming. That's a pretty cool deck idea, honestly. And he just goes with another Panic Poison. Okay, so we have the Dragonite in our hand, which is really, really clutch here. So we can actually do a Nest Ball and then just grab another energy here. There's nothing else I really want to get. This is, I believe, the third Nest Ball at this point. But that's okay, because if you look, we've only played one Mysterious Treasure. So we're in a pretty good spot here. We still have our 2/2 Swap Blue line. But we really just want to save that spot. Or we could try to hit here. We could try to hit this. I don't think it would bother us too much to try to hit this at this point. Oh, well, you live and you learn here at this point. That's okay. We burned both our max potions. I still don't think he's gonna go down. 120 plus the 30. No, he would live. And we can get a max potion off of this next Volkner. Well, Infernape is up, so we may actually die if he attaches the other energy. I don't think he wants to go all in, but if he's smart, he would go all in here and do the 120 and get the knockout. He actually does escape rope. That's strange. To me, that's strange to avoid the knockout like that. It's very interesting. So we don't have to Volkner here anymore. So we can go ahead and play a Cynthia. We may hit into something. We get Lance. We do get Lance. We don't want another Dratini. But we have the double colorless, so what we want to get rid of here, I want to get rid of that. And we've prized our Latios Prism. That is quite disappointing. That's okay. I feel fine trying to let this hit, and we do hit, which is nice. We're still not dead. We're still not dead. So 250, pretty difficult. Now he doesn't even have to do anything here. If he does this switch sort of thing and the new one would be confused and poison, then that means that this Dragonite lives. And so he doesn't. So he lets us die at that point, which is fine. We're finally even on prizes, right? He's had to do all that work. He does have one more up there at this point. The thing that is disappointing is I may just GX here, but I'll get the knockout rather than do that. Let's see, we're gonna Volkner here because we want to see if we got another energy at least. Okay, so we do have another energy. We we can grab... I think it's safer to grab the other max potion than the rescue stretcher at this point. Rescue stretcher would be pretty nice, though. Rescue stretcher would be pretty nice. You know what? I think it's just safer to go with the max potion at this point. We'll just Dragon Claw for the knockout. We've got a Devoured Field in here too. Let's see if he's discarded any at this point. Because if we die from a status condition, Lance is not going to help us out in this matchup. He hasn't discarded any other Well of Volcanoes. Let's put Pokemon Communication there for Infernape. To replace it with Salazzle. I'm not sure what's taking him so long to just do this. He's going to bring up a Lele is what I imagine. Okay, so we can max potion this Lele. And then we'll go ahead and retreat. We're going to save DCE, right? No. Better to burn a DCE. It's probably better to burn a DC at this point, because if we can get the Latios off the prizes, would be the most ideal thing for us. We really need to find him. Okay, we go down to 2 prizes now. Oof, Mysterious Treasure. That does not help. Does not help, but you know what? Put 3 Dragon Pokemon from our discard pile onto our bench is looking like the best play at this point. We get 2 more Dragonite out. Honestly, kind of comfortable just letting this die at this point, right? I think it'll be fine to just let this thing die. He is going to be useless to us. He is going to be useless. We'll just grab this, just thin the deck at this point. We'll let Lele waste away up here. What we're going to do is we're going to Mysterious Treasure away this Altaria, right? So when we do our GX, we'll be able to hit 90 damage. We won't have to really deal with any more of those Oricorios. We've already seen he's burned 1 Rescue Stretcher. I don't know if he plays another Rescue Stretcher. Getting Timer Ball's a little what? You know, what is he really trying to do here? Just burn this card so he doesn't have it anymore. Burns another Timer Ball. Double heads on the Timer Ball. Another Parasect, another Infernape. Another Pokemon Communication. Putting away the Infernape. Maybe he's going to get the Salandit now. Let's check our resources here. I think we've used 3. Oh, we've used all 4 of our max potions at this point. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to get rid of this. We're going to put it in our discard pile. It would be nice to try and get that in the discard pile as well here. Show our playmat. Let's see how many Mysterious Treasure we've used. We've used 3. Let's go ahead and grab him. We do want to save that. We do want to save that DCE. Our hand is pretty low at this point, right? So we can get 3 dragon Pokemon. So we're going to get Dragonite, Altaria. So we can put this down. We can go ahead and GX at this point. We're going to get this. We're going to get this. So now we will be able to one-shot the Salazzle, but he is going to get to pick what comes up here, right? So we're gonna have to burn a DCE, unfortunately, just to be able to have all of our attackers up, right? But at that point, it's just a coin flip. It's a coin flip as to whether or not we're going to win this game. So we'll go into this one here. Here we go. Dragon Claw. And there's the Latios Prism. I regret not picking that one earlier. I should have went with my first instinct there. I was thinking that was going to be the one. We've burned both of the DCE at this point. Now he's going to... Oh, he's got a Guzma. Okay. Gonna Guzma up. The Lele. Luckily, I do still have an energy here. So we are going to be able to retreat. Bring this up. And we're going to win the game right here. So that was really tough. That was really challenging, trying to manage our resources and look into our prizes, look into our discard and really take a look at what we have. It's the first time I really had to use the Dragonporter-GX attack, but you can see where it can become very handy, because if you have to sacrifice your own Altaria to put them in the discard for something like that, it can turn around a match for you later. So that 250 HP and the max potions come into play there and really show you how the deck can out-heal and basically allow your opponent to run out of resources to be able to get the knockouts. All right, onto the match here with Dragonite-GX. Now this is obviously not the quick ripening herb list that some others are playing. It's sort of up in the air as to the best way. There's the max potion strategy, and then there's this strategy. I like to open with Tauros-GX because Tauros-GX kind of threatens them to not want to have to swing in. We want to have a viable attacker who has a GX attack, and even if they do swing in, we can still do Rage to potentially knock something out without having to worry about wasting a GX attack as well. Some are teching into Water Energy to be able to do the attack, but he's unable to attack the next turn. Now, Rainbow Energy would be the other potential option to fit into this deck. That's also something else that I'm thinking about as well. If we go with the Rainbow Energy, it could make the deck a little bit more consistent. That's probably going to be the next version or variation that we do of this deck. So going up against Lost March here, it's not what we really want to see. Horn Attack can do 60 though and start knocking pretty much everything out that we need to knock out these first couple opening hands until we can get a Dragonite up. Yeah, I do like the idea of the Rainbow Energy. The Rainbow Energy may help if we run 4 Rainbow Energy. We're able to cover the cost of the water. We play regular Lightning, but then you still need DCE, right? So you're going to be running 6 Lightning Energy or Rainbow Energy, as well as maybe 3 DCE, maybe 4 DCE. It's a lot of energy to try to fit in, because you want to have the Lightning, right? But then the problem is that you cannot attack on the next turn with Dragonite-GX, so it's a little difficult to try and finagle all of that being into one single deck. 14 energy, hitting a rainbow. Maybe you don't hit the rainbow, and that way you can still run the max potion then, but then you're kind of doubling up on how many cards that you have in the list, so it's sort of double the amount of things that you have, right? It's not as productive as you'd like it to be. So they only have 1 Pokemon there on the bench at this point. So we're gonna see the Dragonites in our hand. We know instantly that it's time to get out of Dratini here. And then for consistent, we play Pokénav. We put these top 3 cards back in any order. We're obviously gonna want to do this. That's the one we're gonna put into our hand. And I think we'll want to play... We don't really want the Escape Rope or the Switch at this point, right? We don't want either of those. And it doesn't really matter because next turn we're going to Cynthia anyways. We're going to Cynthia next turn anyways. So this is another single prize attacking deck that we're going up against. This was an inclusion into the list because we need it for starts like this where we have these basic Pokemon that we need to knock out. Lost March is still going to be a thing. Jirachis are 70 HP now and expanded. This would work a little bit better with a Fighting Fury Belt as well. And then you can really ramp up your survivability here with Tauros. See, Pokemon Communication. He's just kind of finessing the cards around to try and find what he needs here to get his jump plus up on the bench. He's going to skip Loom. Skip Loom's ability, Floral Path to the Sky, allows him to put Skip Loom and the Hoppip in there. So we're going to see 80, 100 damage at least come out this turn from Natu. But look at for us, we do hit 70 damage, so there isn't much in this deck that's going to give us any problems. If he does knock this out this turn, we do have the Rare Candy, and we've got Lance. Your opponent only has 2 cards left in their hand at this point, so let's see. Oh, they actually do a Guzma play. Okay, so get the Natu up. That does hurt. That does really hurt at this point. So let's just go ahead and Lance. We're gonna get Altaria. We're gonna get Dragonite. We're gonna drop those down on the bench. Just go ahead and Horn attack here. So surprisingly, we are still ahead in the match at this point, and they're still only doing 100 damage. We've boosted Dragonite's attack up to 90 now with that Altaria on the bench. We've got Cynthia in our hand. We've got all of our max potions obviously still in the deck. We've got an escape rope if we just so happen to need it as well. So they actually just bring up Marshadow because they know we can't kill Marshadow, but hey, we do have the escape rope here. We may want to escape rope and then play Cynthia, right? Yeah, we're gonna want to escape rope here. We're gonna put the Dratini down. We're gonna save this max potion. Super Boost isn't gonna work for us in this matchup, I don't think. Well, not yet at least. We've played Cynthia, we played her supporter. Really don't want a Nest Ball at this point, because next turn I could Volkner or something along those lines. Nestfall could grab us something, but I want to kind of keep that bench space available. I want to keep that bench space available for Tapu Lele next turn, depending on what we get off at the top of the deck here. So he does have free retreat with a Molga, but still only at 100 damage at this point. So he really needs to ramp up. I don't think they have the ability to hit 250. I could be wrong. We see another pass as well from our opponent. At this point, we might want to Nestball just to take a look here into the deck. We could grab Latios. Latios would be another effective attacker here. We see another Dragonite. See another Swablu. It's no point in getting anything else down. I think if we're gonna get anything down, it's gonna be 4 or fewer cards in our hand. That's not going to help us either. So let's just pass on that at this point, right? Yeah, we'll go ahead and pass. We'll just skip doing that. I think it's probably best here, since we already lanced, to get rid of Super Boost. We are alright in this matchup with not utilizing Super Boost, and then we can grab Tapu Lele here if need be, but we're going to hold it, honestly, because we're just going to play Erica first. All we need is an energy here, right? We just need an energy. We've got a rare candy. We got 2 Dragonite up. We got 3 max potions in our hand. We've got a Tapu Lele for next turn as well. We also have got Devoured Field. We don't even need to use it. I know they play Shrine of Punishment in some of the lists, so don't have to worry about that at this point, but we would be able to knock out Harambe if we drop our Devoured Field. We get a Volkner off of our prize as well. We're 2 prizes up here. So if they do happen to do some damage, we can max potion. We can get a Volkner. Get another item card as well. I don't know what item I would really want in this matchup at this point, because we've already used our escape rope. See them pass. Well, it's best to get this out of our hand and thin our deck anyways. We want Rescue Stretcher maybe. Rescue Stretcher could be valuable. Do we have another? We do have him. Probably better get the Nest Ball, but we can't get the Nest Ball at this point. So what we'll do is we'll just grab the energy. We can grab a Mysterious Treasure. Get rid of the rare candy at this point. And we can get our Latios out of our deck. Drop him down, because now it's 50, 50, 100, 150, 200. So that's pretty nice there in terms of damage. We're gonna just, we're gonna play it out here because we're pretty safe here. We are pretty safe at this point for anything. We get a Guzma as well. I was hoping more for a draw supporter. They promote this Emolga, obviously, for that free retreat as well. So they've I wouldn't necessarily say that they've bricked, but they're definitely going to concede here at this point. I don't see why they don't have any Grass Energy, any more Natus, any more Draw Support or something like that. It seems a little unfamiliar for a Lost March to brick. Usually it runs very, very consistent. That list didn't play any Shrine of Punishment. At least we didn't see any at that point. So that's a little bit of how Dragonite-GX really runs. This is a variation on the list. There's a lot of different ways to really go about trying to run this here. And as I discussed in this match, there's a couple other alterations for my own personal opinion how you could run this. You could run the Rainbow Energy to really try to get this up. Let's see if they show their list here. They do show their list. So they got 4 Emolga, 3 Natu, 4 Hoppip, 4 Skiploom, 4 Jumpla, 4 Trumbeak, 1 Oranguru or Harambe, Marshadow, 4 Communication, 2 Nestball. Let's see what's their draw supporter count here. 2 Cynthia, 2 Guzma, 4 Lily, 3 DCE and 4 grass energy. So I could see where they would have some consistency issues, but they do have netball as well. So it's surprising they didn't run into netball to find the grass energy that they needed with their free retreat. So unfortunately, maybe they prize all of their grass energy, something along those lines. It's probably rare for that to happen, but the opponent didn't want to see it through. They knew that 250 HP is just a little bit too much to try and take out consistently every turn, especially when somebody is playing max potions as well. So that's a good idea of how the deck runs. Let me know your guys' thought down below in the comment. Let me know if you guys have any other lists, alterations, ideas that you might want to try to make this deck run a little bit better, at least in the standard format right now. Thanks so much, you guys, for watching. You have a good rest of your day.